A car into a fish? A person into a camera? And a table into a planet? Woohoo! Isn't it that cool? Well, PowerPoint Morph Transition really knows how to do the trick, but wait a second. Does really everything go so smoothly and you really see the reality? Well, not quite. Why? Well, stay tuned and you'll find out. Bonjour mes amis! Today we will reveal the small science behind PowerPoint Morph Transition. Because I've done a lot of experiments, I am now ready to reveal you what to do so that you can have a smooth experience and the resulted animation to be the consequence of the know-how and not the result of the luck or just because you saw something in another video and you think it might work in your case too. Here on Modern Education channel, we don't want to just show you something. What we really want is to make you understand the science behind everything you're doing and bring your knowledge to the next level. Now let's jump into PowerPoint and let's analyze carefully what we have. I really want you to pay attention here to understand the differences because not everything is what you might think it is. Accordingly to Microsoft, the easiest way to use Morph Transition is to insert a slide, then insert, for example, a shape, then duplicate that slide, then move the respective shape into another place on the slide, then from the transition select Morph Transition as, and you can see the magical has been done, also the same in full presentation mode. Now the things can become a little bit more complicated if we want to change the original shape, insert another type of shape, for example this heart, and as you can see here in the selection pane, the name of the shape is heart 2, while on the second slide the name is rectangle 1. This time logically the morph transition is not going to work anymore, and to make it work we'll have to rename the shapes and we have to use that special symbol called exclamation mark. And by the way, I strongly suggest you to watch my video called the 7 uses of this symbol. It's very interesting, so you should put now here double exclamation mark and let's put a common name, let's say X. Great. And then here again you should put a double exclamation mark and the same name, and now the transition is also going to work and you see the magical being done. Great. Now let's delete these 2 slides and let's analyze the initial situation. As you can see, we have 12 slides and the slides from 1 to 6 are identical with the slides from 7 to 12. And as you can see from slide 1, we have an element called double exclamation transition 1, the same here, and morph is activated. Third, transition 2 with morph activated. Fifth, transition 3 and the sixth with morph activated. Now the 7th slide, again transition 1, the 8th transition 1 morph activated, the 9th transition 2, the 10th transition 2 with morph activated, 11 with transition 3 and 12 with transition 3 and again morph activated. When we will enter into the full presentation mode, from 1 to 2 we have the morph, great. Then from 3 to 4 we have the morph, that's great. From 5 to 6 we have the morph, perfectly. But now passing to the 7th, as you can see we don't have any more the morph. Now we are at the 9th to 10, we don't have any more the morph, and finally from 11 to 12 again the morph is not working. So the big question is why is not working? What is failing? 'Cause I've done quite all you have told me, and now just staying here without result. For sure, that's an unpleasant situation in which nobody wants to be in. So let's analyze the science and get the luck out of the equation. To understand perfectly what's going on, I'm going to use a basic math problem in which we have to sum two fractions that do not have the same denominator. In the first case example, the least common multiple is 5 times 7, which is 35. That's why the first fraction should be amplified with 7 and the second one should be amplified with 5, meaning 3 times 7 plus 5 times 4 over 5 times 7, which is 41 over 35. In the second case example, the least common multiple is 8, meaning that the second fraction will be unchanged and the first one will be amplified with 2, meaning 3 times 2 plus 7 over 8, which is 13 over 8. Practically, this is the same situation that's happening with the morph transition. Of course, this is just an analogy to make you understand better the things. In PowerPoint, you can pretty much introduce a lot of different objects, and the morph transition is working if you want to morph a certain type of object into the same type of object. But if you want to morph two objects of different types, then officially is not working. And to make it work, even if visually you will display the same things, practically from the type perspective, you will have to change them and bring them to the same common denominator, meaning to convert them into the same type of object, and then the magic will be done. Now, let me show you how you can identify the type of objects we're talking about. If you're going to insert just 1, 2, or 3 different objects, then logically it's going to be easy to remember the type of the respective objects. But if you're going to insert a lot of objects, meaning 10, 20, or even more, at some point will be so natural not to remember the type of the object. So that's why you have two different ways of identifying the type of the object. Here on the right we have the selection pane, and in the selection pane, for each one of the element, for each one of the objects that is currently presented on the slide, you will have an associated name. You're going to click on the table. As you can see here, it's a table. Clicking on the picture, the name is picture. Clicking on the icon, the name is graphic. Clicking on the arrow, it's arrow. And if you're going to insert, for example, another type of shape, for example rectangle, then the name rectangle is gonna appear here. For the 3D model you have 3D model, while for the smart art, as you can see, it's a diagram. If you're not 100% sure, but I think this is very relevant, but if you want to double check, then you can use the contextual menu. As you can see now here, I don't have anything else being displayed, but if I'm going to click on the table, is here the table design and table layout. Clicking it again will make it disappear. Clicking it on the picture, you will have a picture format. Then clicking on the icon, you will have a graphic format. Clicking on a shape, you will have the shape format. Clicking on the 3D model, you will have the 3D model, while clicking on the smart art, you will have the smart art design. So everything can be quite easily identified with no problem. Now, returning to my initial example, if at one moment in time you see a table and the format is table, and you see an icon and the format is graphic or image, then logically the morph won't be possible. But at a second moment in time, if you see a table but the type is not table anymore, it has been converted to an image, and the icon it's an image, then the morph will be possible. Returning now to my initial 12 slides presentation, where from the visual perspective the first 6 slides are identical with the next 6 slides, in reality from the type perspective they are not identical, and now you can see the things with different eyes. So let's double check rapidly one more time. So the first is a picture, the second is a picture morph possible, the third picture, camera, picture morph possible. These can be seen as a table, but in reality has been converted to a picture, and the icon is also a picture. That's why the morph is possible. But now take a look at the next 6 slides. The car is not a picture anymore, it's a shape, while the fish, it's still a picture. The morph is not working. Here it's a picture, but the camera has been converted to a shape, and that's why the morph is not working. While here finally we have a real table, and here we have an icon, which in this case is a shape, and that's why is not working. So for example, imagine yourself watching a video about morph transition, and somebody shows you that a table is converted with morph transition into an icon just by changing in the selection pane the names of the object, and everything done. Then you go at home, you try to do the same thing on your computer, and the result is like this, is not working. Now my friends, you know why, because there is a science behind, and the science, even if is very simple, like in the fractions case, is actually doing the difference from something that is working to something that is not working. So practically not everything what you see is actually the respective thing. So following the fractions principle, in PowerPoint we have 2 main common denominators, and these 2 common denominators are the images and the shapes. So practically you can convert easily, for example, a table into an image by just copying and paste it like a picture, and voila, you've got the picture. And from the other perspective, you can insert, for example, a rectangle, make it of the same dimension as the table, then again copy the table, then go to the format shape and go to the fill option, picture and texture fill, clipboard, and you've got now your shape. So look, it's a table, it's a picture, and it's a shape. So depending on your needs, you can convert whatever you got in the respective image or shapes, and then you can let the magic be done with morph transition. Now let me finish my presentation by showing you the final things here, because I want to show you one more trick. So I'm going to delete the table, I'm going to delete the picture, because the last element here, it's a shape. And by the way, why it's a shape and is not a picture? Because has been converted to shape in order to apply the colors. So in this case, I really suggest you to watch my 7 steps technique of how you can convert what is apparently an icon that can't be colored into beautiful colored icon. So please watch that video. So here we're talking about a shape, and we're talking about a group of shapes. So here now, even if my table is a shape, and even if I'm going to put the same name as the main group, meaning transition 3, is not going to work. Why? Because this is just one shape and this is a group of shapes, and logically the morph is not working. So here again you should apply one small trick. So you have to create also a group here. How? Very simple. Go to insert, pick up another shape, something like this, and then you can place it whatever you want, make it no outline and make it no fill, meaning invisible. Then select everything, Ctrl G and group it, and now you also have a group, because you need, remember, the same type, the same common denominator to make the morph transition work. Now you can rename the group as transition 3, and now going to the full presentation mode, as you can see, finally the morph is working. Now you know all the science, all the secrets. Now you can do your magic on your own. So mes amis, I hope that this was a really, really good help for you. You have learned a lot. You now have your knowledge to the next level. And what can I say? Thank you so much for watching and see you at the next episodes. À bientôt, mes amis.